Welcome!
Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick, and the opening for the next Dragon Ball story, What If Bonyu Rejoined the Ginyu Force? Before we get started, be sure to check out the Omniverse's homepage, where our channel mascot Omni will direct you to the Discord, both Google Docs, and everything the Omniverse has to offer, along with smashing the like button, subscribing to the Omniverse of Nick, sharing the Omniverse around, and turning on all Omniversal notifications, along with commenting future requests and expectations in the comments section. With all that said, let's begin. This is the next Dragon Ball story. It's going to be 2 parts. What if Bonyu rejoined the Ginyu Force? Now, for those who don't know, Bonyu is a former member of the Ginyu Force, and she was debuted in Dragon Ball Kakarot the game. And ever since, she's not been featured a huge bunch besides just one game, but we know plenty about her. Like I said, for example, she was a member of the Ginyu Force who dropped out of the Force whenever Ginyu wanted to do posing, and she felt it completely and utterly silly and, basically retarded. So she dropped out of the Ginyu Force, leaving Ginyu and everybody else and her relative Jace to be a part of the Force. And we all know what happened after that. Vegeta killed them all. Goldo, Raccoon, Birder, Jace, and years later, I'm talking years later, Ginyu. So yeah, that didn't end really well for them. But what if Bonyu had stayed with the Force? Or instead of stayed with the Force, what if she, still quit, but then came back to the Force? Would it have really mattered? Would it change anything? That's what we answer today. So, we begin the story where Frieza, Dodoria, and Zarbon are about to embark to Namek to get the Dragon Balls, and the Ginyu Force is on another planet conquering it. Once all done, they parade themselves in pose on their hard work and dedication for Lord Frieza, and conquering another planet for his empire. And then, Ginyu and Jace are the only 2 left after the other people are partying, and Ginyu cannot believe the hard work and dedication and prowess that the Ginyu Force has built on for making Frieza's empire so freaking big and awesome. And he really feels like, there is no other force or power in the universe that makes them weaker than anybody else. They are the best. And Ginyu's really prowessing this to Jace. But then he gets notification on his scouter that they are required to go to Namek and get updated scouters and help Lord Frieza get the Dragon Balls because of Vegeta. And Ginyu's a little bit annoyed by this because, they were just celebrating and now they got to take care of Vegeta. But it's okay. They get to help Frieza, but he's still going to be an, assertive captain. So he yells to Jace, get everybody ready and get updated scouters. Lord Frieza requests our help. But Jace, he's been thinking about something he's wanted to bring to the captain's attention for quite a long time now. Quite a few years, actually. And before they leave, Jace doesn't want to be insubordinate to the captain, so he chooses his choice of words very carefully and asks the captain for a word before they go. Captain Ginyu agrees, telling Jace to make it quick. Jace says, to really make Lord Frieza happy and to make sure this business with Vegeta gets done and that they get the Dragon Balls the right way, why don't they get someone that Jace knows can help them? Why don't they get Bonyu back in the Force? They haven't had her in the Force in a long, long time. True, she doesn't like the whole posing thing and what Captain Ginyu has made the Force stand for, but she is a relative of Jace's, and it really hit him hard whenever Bonyu cast herself out. And he wants to see if there's any way that, even if it's temporary, that Bonyu can rejoin the Force and, really make Lord Frieza happy. He didn't seem to care too much when Bonyu casts herself out, but she brings herself back in and worms the way for Frieza. It could make the Ginyu Force even more in Frieza's favor, and they could get prime deals, and basically the whole universe could be theirs, just like Frieza. Ginyu thinks about this for a second, and in actuality, he should just punch Jace right now for even daring to think about bringing her back into the Force. But Ginyu agrees under one condition. Jace is never to make a suggestion about a forgotten member of the Force again. If she denies this or tries to fight against it, there's no telling what Ginyu's going to do, but it will be on Jace's behalf. Whatever happens after this is Jace's fault. So if this turns up bad, Jace better be prepared for the punishment, because he certainly does not want to hear the end of it from Lord Frieza, especially if it turns up bad. And they must make it quick so that they can get to Namek and help Frieza. So, they get to the planet in which Bonyu is on with several Frieza soldiers just, living a life. And Ginyu and Jace go alone, while the others prepare themselves for Namek. This is days before they're actually going to set off for Namek, so they have time, It took them quite a bit before they even got to Namek in the first place. So even if it was a slight divergence, it wouldn't be that big a deal, as you will see here soon. So Ginyu and Jace come alone to Bonyu's planet. And Bonyu, after hearing everything about what Jace recommended, and even at Ginyu's behest, what, he's thinking, it's more or less Jace, Bonyu agrees to rejoin the Force once again. Because, she liked the Ginyu Force before Ginyu ruined it. Speaking of which, she has a request of her own. She'll rejoin the Ginyu Force if she's made into the captain. Ginyu is absolutely infuriated, thinking, what is wrong with you? You think you'd be a better captain than me? And Ginyu at this is so furious, he decides to hold a fight. Whoever wins between himself and Bonyu gets to be the new captain. And Ginyu says, let the match begin. And just right away, the fight between Bonyu and Ginyu begins. And Ginyu sees, very close into the fight, Bonyu hasn't lost her touch. Maybe a little bit, but if anything, she seems to have gotten stronger. And as he's checking on his scouter, her power, it's going past his 120,000. He can't believe it. It's almost marring the 200,000 point. But the fight still continues. Ginyu uses every blast, every grab, every technique that we saw him use. Everything at his disposal, but Bonyu has an answer for almost all of it. Oh, trust me, Ginyu is able to land some hits and stun her and injure her in some points, but Bonyu has this fight almost written all over Ginyu. Like, it's so close to not being a contest that never be able to tell that Bonyu's seriously winning, because Ginyu's still able to hold his own, just barely. So Ginyu, he gets desperate. He punctures himself right in the chest and then goes for a body swap. But Bonyu powers up to full power and just cancels out the attack, just barely. And injured, but at full power, she fires a true Crusher Magma Ball. Basically an upgraded, different variant of the Crusher Ball from Jace, since, they're related. And with this, Ginyu has no answer for this. And he is completely and utterly killed. Bonyu is going for the true kill here. And with this, Bonyu is made the captain of the Ginyu Force, which is now the Bonyu Force. Bonyu says that now, with her in charge, there's going to be some changes around here. No more posing and no more slacking. Whatever breaks they have, whatever snacks, whatever things they get that is not verified by Frieza, she holds the new Bonnie Force in her waking call. And Jace will be her second in command, just like Ginyu, but even more closely since they're of the same kind. Now, they will train themselves for 3 days, and they will make the 5-day journey to Namek to help Lord Frieza. With Goldo's training, his original power was 2,800. Bonyu's training brings him up to 8,000, which also increases his time abilities. Rakum's power goes from 45,000 to 66,000. Birder's goes from 43,000 to 64,000. And Jace, being the second in command and the main one Bonyu takes interested in since they're the same kind, gives Jace special training and takes him from 42,000 to 98. And as for herself, her power level, I would like to estimate whenever she was with Ginyu before she left, was most likely around 60,000, since she was really the first member. Power level versus Ginyu? As I said, it was marring the 200,000 point, 190,000. But with extra training, especially with her force, 345,000. She is truly close to Frieza. And all this training actually gets her more fit too, and makes her even more faster and stronger without her even realizing it. And after 3 days, Bonyu knows the 5-day journey to Namek will be the last time Vegeta or anyone else looks down on the Ginyu Force again and tells the Bonyu Force to move out. So Bonyu and the rest of the Bonyu Force lands on Namek. Will Goku and the Z Fighters even have an answer for this new Ginyu Force without Ginyu? Or is the Bonyu Force the true heroes, ironically, of this story? And what will happen furthering down the line for Bonyu and Frieza and everyone else going on to the finale next time of this short story of Bonyu rejoining the Ginyu Force?
Now get out!
What?
Get out! Everybody get out!